obviously extremely early in the process, but how do you see the assimilation going and the learning process and the teaching?
Yeah, it's been good. 2 practices in, guys have a lot to learn, mainly just how to practice and how to stay up. But we've been really pleased with it thus far.
What are you seeing, I guess, from yourself being in this role and position with a new organization?
Yeah, it's been really fun. It's been really rewarding to work with really good people, starting with Coach Allen. And, we got some really good coaches on our offensive staff. So we're gelling together as a staff as well as getting our players better.
Klint, when you're working with a lot of veteran players on understanding a new playbook, new system, guys who've maybe been in a system for a long time, what's kind of like your thing where you're trying to, like what's your big thing that you want these guys to take away from the early part of this?
This time of year, it's all teaching, installation and trying to slow it down, starting from scratch and not assuming anything, just trying to be really good at the details and just understanding, like you said, there's first-year guys, rookies, and we got 13-year veterans. So we're just going to keep it simple initially and just make sure we're just detailed.
Klint, do you envision utilizing Alvin Kamara very similar to McCaffrey?
Yeah, I think it'll be really fun to work with Alvin. He's got a great skill set that we can do a lot of things with. So I think it's just up to us as coaches identifying those things and him putting in the work.
One of the things with the Sean Payton offense that we've seen for a long time here is kind of famous for those really long play calls. How would you describe the verbiage of your offense? What are you trying to do?
Yeah. Well, I can't speak for that for Coach. I would say that we're a West Coast offense for whatever that means to everybody. We're going to be probably as wordy as the quarterback can handle, and I think our quarterback is a very smart player. He can handle a lot. I think we're going to challenge him early this time of year in the off season, and him and his teammates, and see what they can handle.
Why did you feel like New Orleans was the right place for the next step in your career?
I think it just came down to the people that you're working with. Coach Allen gave me an opportunity, and Mickey Loomis. Getting to work with guys that I've worked with before and been in the fire with, like Rick Dennison and Andrew Janocko, and some new coaches that I'm learning that I'm really impressed with. So it all comes down to the people. It's a hard job with long hours, so you got to be around people that you respect and have your back, and we have that here.
Klint, how much does it help that you do have a veteran quarterback that you can, that can handle the verbiage? Because obviously you want to accelerate the process as much as you can.
Oh, it helps tremendously. And Derek he's had a really good offseason thus far. He's putting in the work. He's here after hours. Just really studies his tail off, and then his teammates see how hard he works, and he brings their level of play up as well.
If there were a couple of things that you would say define your kind of philosophy, what would a couple of those things be?
We're just stressing the players this time of year to be smart, tough, and dependable. And regardless of the scheme and what that brings, if we can just start with that, we'll be in good shape come training camp as we keep working.
And what was it about Spencer Rattler that really popped off for you to want to draft him, and how does he look to day one career?
Well, I think our scouting department did a great job of identifying all the players that we've drafted, but we like a lot of things about Spencer, but the things that take no talent, and to me that is his attention to detail really stuck out. His effort, his drive to be better. To me that doesn't take a whole lot of talent. It's something that's inside, and he has that in spades.
How has that looked already in day one?
Yeah, it's 2 days into it. It's 2 practices into it. He has been excellent, as well as Kellen Mond in the meeting room. So it's been a positive start.
How about Taliosa Fuaga? He seemed like of all the offensive tackles you guys were scouting in round one, had done the most wide zone run blocking. Does he feel like a good fit for this offense in particular? Yeah, we definitely think so, and we love the person. We love his work ethic, and we love the type of teammate that he was at Oregon State. So amongst all the skills that made him a first-round draft pick, it's really the intangibles that he brings that we're looking forward to. And I know Coach said you guys are going to look at him at left tackle because you've seen him at right tackle. What about him makes you think he could possibly be good at either position?
Oh, he's a tremendous athlete. We identified that early, just how athletic he is, how mean he is, in a good way. And we definitely wanted to see what he looks like at left for this camp.
How do you think so far he's handled the mental load of doing that, switching positions, in addition to everything else the rookies are kind of learning now?
Yeah, well, one of the huge reasons we drafted him was his intelligence, and he's been, just like all the other guys, putting in a lot of work. He came out and definitely has not disappointed, but it's 2 days into it, and we're not going to crown anybody or go the other way on the first 2 days, but we are happy with what we got thus far.
To that point, how has Bub looked to you in the first 2 days?
Yeah, Bubba's in the same way. You know, he brings a lot of positive energy. Got a big smile on his face. He really likes football, which is important because we're here long hours, and you got to love it in order to be a great player. So he's had a good first step.
When you look at Derek's season last year, it's obviously some highs and lows. You get that with every quarterback. But like, what was kind of the main takeaway for you when you were kind of going back and looking through all that, and how do you pull more of the highs out, I guess?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've followed his career since he's been drafted out of Fresno State. So I've seen, I've been in his division and see him come back and beat us many times. So he's got a lot of talent. He's been with some really intelligent coaches. So he has a lot of football up in his mind right now. And we're just trying to slowly install our system and take it one day at a time. And, the main thing I'd say about that is I think he just has grit about him. And I really love his grit and his smarts. And that's something that we're just going to keep building on with him.
Is there anything about what you've seen with him in the past that makes him a really good match for this system from the get-go?
Athleticism. He's a really good athlete. I think that's something that's not said enough about him. So, but no, that's the main thing that I saw.
Taysom Hill has obviously had like a really unique role in the offense. They've ran here for a long time. I don't know if that fits what you do in your scheme, but like you have to kind of look at what he did and try to figure out how it works in that.
Yes, Taysom has been phenomenal here early. We've been kind of moving him in a lot of spots, as he's done his entire career. A really intelligent guy. So looking forward to just kind of, giving him a lot of volume early, and then we'll start narrowing it down as we get closer to the season.
What are some of the things just from last year being in San Francisco that you feel like were maybe influential on you, or were maybe like a learning experience or eye-opening or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say just the entire organization, starting with Kyle, the way that he runs the team and he runs the offense. And it was just a real pleasure to be around him last year and see his work ethic and see how he treats his players and that, the way that he game plans.